What's going on, y'all? It is Saturday. It is about 4:30 in the evening or afternoon right now. Pops and I are back down here in the shop, and he's cleaning this 1.5-inch tubing we just got down out of the metal rack, because this 1.5-inch 083 that we got on this load must have been really fresh because it was really oily. So we've been having to clean and wipe every stick as we get it down and get ready to work with it. I said I would record when we started doing door bars. Well, I let y'all down. I didn't record when we started doing door bars. We're actually in the middle of door bars. So I'll turn the camera around, show y'all the design changes we made, show y'all the design changes we're going to make in the future. After doing this today, I kind of seen some other stuff I'd like to do, and it makes it all around easier. I'll explain. It makes it easier for everyone. It makes it easier for us at a build standpoint. It makes it easier for the owner on sheet metal work. So I'll just explain all that when I turn the camera around. But first, I got to talk about something real quick. After posting the video last night, talking about the Amazon wish list and stuff, and talking about stuff that we needed to get to the racetrack, I've had so many people reach out to me, and it's kind of overwhelming. I'm not one to show a lot of emotion most of the time. Usually it's just me showing when I'm mad. But last night, I'll be straight up honest with you. I mean, I cried like a little girl last night, and talking to my wife about it. And it's just that we're very blessed. I'll say that. We've got our head down over here. We're working hard. We're trying to do things to help racers. We're trying to build an affordable chassis, and we're very thankful that guys are buying these chassis. All of the people that have reached out to me in the past 24 hours, I want to say 24 hours. It was a little late last night, I think, when we done the video, wasn't it? Yep. Later last night. So say in the past 20 hours, there's been so many people reach out to me about sponsoring us, sending money for sheet metal, buying parts, asking about the wish list. So I just want to say thank you. I know when you talk to someone, you know where they're at and why they do it. When they tell you why they do this stuff, you kind of figure out the kind of person they are. And you know, you want to see the good in everyone, and we do. We've been seeing the good in every single person that's contacted us. I don't know what I keep doing to deserve this. That was the biggest thing I got so tore up about last night. I'm very thankful. I just want y'all to know that. Very thankful. Mike Fisher. I talked about him in the last video, sponsoring the intake and sponsoring the crankshaft. And I'd be dadgum if that man didn't buy every single thing that was on the wish list. Fuel pump, fuel pressure gauge warning light kit, wheels, lug nuts. He bought it. He sent me a message. He commented on the last video. He bought it. And Mike, buddy, I appreciate you. I think his username on YouTube is Rockabilly46. Yeah, we need to know where you're at, Mike. Comment below this video and let me know where you're at. We're going to send you some stuff. So, again, thank you, Mike. And I know these people don't do it for the shout outs, but I'm giving them a shout out because they deserve it. John Keith, buddy, I know you're going to watch this. I mentioned them in the last video. And I mentioned that they sponsored our powder coat on this chassis when we first got it built. But I just want y'all to know that it goes a lot further than that. I can text John, call John, and he'll answer any question I have. So John's been a really good friend to me, and I appreciate that. John is sponsoring us a set of shocks. So now we have shocks that'll be coming. I think he also has some wheels that he's going to sponsor us. So thank you to these guys, John Keith, Ben Keith, Statement Race Cars. Y'all go give them a follow. If you don't know who they are, you should. So we're blessed to know all these great people. And I'll say that. That's where I'll leave it. I can go on and on and on about being blessed and thankful, and I just want everybody to know that we truly are. We truly are. And it's a lot of people don't see it from my side of it, because when you got so many people backing you and you got so many people sponsoring you and people that send you parts like that, it puts a lot of pressure on you, because now it's my turn. It's my turn to get a car done, and it's my turn to perform in that car. So hopefully we can. But thank you.
I can get it done, but I can't do nothing from the inside.
But we appreciate everybody sending us stuff. I can't thank y'all enough again. I've had people message me on Facebook today asking what the Amazon wish list is. I'll put it in the description of every video. We keep adding to it. I changed it today since everything was bought. I added stuff to it, like maintenance stuff, oil filters, white lithium grease, wheel bearing grease, oil, body stuff, body bracing kit, stuff that we're going to need to finish the body to get it to the racetrack. So thank you. I'm going to quit rambling. I know the last video we talked a lot. We're going to work on a factory stock. Y'all hang out. Alrighty, so this is what I was talking about. I wanted to do different. As y'all know, on all of our cars, we have done a door bar like this. All three bars have been the same. In case anybody's wondering, for the geometry of it, I guess you could say, this is a 30-degree bend. I measure back from my rear hoop a certain length. I start the first bend. Then I start the second bend and the third bend a little different because it keeps my offset straight up and down. And you can see my bend marks right here. There's that bend mark, and they're all in line. So I do a different measurement every time to offset the layback of the rear hoop. So what we done on this one is I brought these two out straight with the frame rail. And that is 120 wall tubing, just like we do on everything. So y'all have heard me mention before that I hate leaving tubes uncapped. Well, just so you know, that won't be uncapped. Now it allows me to put 1.25 inches in here and bend and go where I want to up here for foot protection. Also, foot protection bars in the past have been in here really close. Now these are going to be out here 5 inches, 6 inches, because we have this kicker plus this 1.5 inches. So now they're going to be out here. And it gives it more impact room before it gets in here to the sheet metal and to the driver's feet. So after we done the bottom two like that, I realized that I should have brought my dash bar out further, and I could have done the top one like that as well. And that allows, like Pops was saying earlier, it allows from a sheet metal standpoint, you can come straight back, straight out, and straight back, and then do a little bend at the back. Your sheet metal is a lot easier. Ours was a royal pain in the butt, I promise you.
It was.
To somebody that does sheet metal all the time, it'd probably been easy. But we don't do sheet metal all the time. So I know a lot of these guys like to do their own work. And that's because they like to save that money. So we're trying to make everything neater, safer, as well as easier for the driver. So that's where we're at. Right now, we got some 083 down like I was talking about. We're going to do our bracing in between our door bars. So we do here, here, and up here. This one's going to be at a crazy angle. This one will be straight up and down. And then we'll have ours in the bottom. We do them in the bottom as well. So we're gonna work on doing that. I'm gonna throw it up on time lapse. Pops and I are gonna cut and notch those. We get all those tacked in. I'll pick the camera back up and I'll do some welding. And then I'll work on doing my 1.25 inch out here for the feet protection. So y'all hang out. All right, so as y'all can see in the time lapse, we got all those in. And Pops is working on that. I just went ahead and welded them all on the outside while it was on time lapse. I figured after last night in the beginning of this video, y'all was tired of hearing me talk anyway. So since we have the 083 down, I always make my bar, my head support bar right here at a 083. And of course, I always bend it a 90 to flow with the back of the hoop. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna cut it, bend it, get it notched, get it fitted in here. And then that way we can get down 1.25 inch because we have the 1.25 inch bars we have to do, but we have to change our die in the bender. So this bar is the last bar we have to bend 1.5 inches. Once it's bent, well, for now, we got some other stuff we're gonna bend later, but we'll show that later on. We're gonna do a bumper, we're gonna do a door bar, and we may do a front bumper. So we wanna get this bar in. That way we can swap over to the 1.25 inch die because we'll have to do our front hoop on the front, which is 1.25 inch, and we'll have to bend it, and then we'll have to bend our foot protection bars here. So I didn't want it to be on time lapse the entire time. So I wanted to talk about this for a second and show y'all what we was about to do. And that way I can throw it up on time lapse, get that cut, bent, notched, and I will pick the camera back up this time before I go tack it in and get it welded. And then we'll have 1.25 inch in here like we do over there. So that supports the corner of this halo A-pillar combination here. And then we've got to do a diagonal in the top. So y'all hang out. I'm gonna throw it back up on time lapse real quick. We're gonna get that bar made and see if we can't get a few more little tied in right here. And before we call it a day, y'all hang out. All right, y'all. So we fast forwarded a day. It is Sunday. It is a gorgeous day outside. It's supposed to be up in the 50s today. So we got the door open because it was actually warmer outside than it was in the shop just a minute ago. So it's kind of comfy hoodie weather. So Pops and I just got in the shop and we've been doing some other stuff up at the house, of the new house. Level was taking off on me. So what we're gonna do is finish our foot support bars. Pops is currently changing the die in the bender to 1.25 inch, and he's doing that before we get a sticky 1.25 inch down. That way it don't have to fight with the tubing laying around. And so so the head support bar was the last 1.5 inches that we have to bend. So we got it done. Now we can tie in all of our supports between it. Supports to the halo that we do. And then of course I've got to do a down post here on the A-pillar. And then the feet support in here. So all that'll be 1.25 inch tubing. So we'll get that knocked out. And then once we get all those in, we've got a couple of more 1.25 inch bracing to do. And then we're gonna start on the front end and do our front hoop. So we plan to get all that done today. I talked to Carson. He works out of town. He comes home for a few days and then he goes out of town for like, I think 2 weeks at a time. So he's gonna have to have somebody lined up to come get the chassis. So I told him if it works better, we'll just wait and do it on a Saturday. So he's picking this up next Saturday. We're gonna have it completely done and ready to be picked up. And in the meantime, we're gonna be getting a frame to start number 13 so we can get started on it. Y'all hang out. All right, y'all. Well, as you can see, that's what we were talking about on our foot protection bars. It gets them out of the way from the frame a pretty good bit. Like I said, it gives it a point to crush, kind of. That way it don't crush and then into the feet automatically. It's got some space before it gets in here to the sheet metal, so hopefully it won't crush in that far. It would take a pretty good lick, and I know it can happen, but we're just trying to get it to where it's better, safer. And so on the first one, this is a 60-degree bend top and bottom. And on the first one, when I marked it back here, I cut it a little short. And I had told Pops, we had talked about it yesterday, about tying the bottom one into the frame. So we just went ahead and cut it the angle we needed, put it on the bottom, remade the top, and it all lines up pretty good. It got plenty of room for everything. Sheet metal will come in here even with the frame rail. So it'll all work out pretty good. I think, I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna do a bar from the bottom one down to the frame. A little brace to keep anything from going up in there. So kind of like we did on the bottom of the door bars. But I'll probably just take some 1.25 like that there and then do one down to the frame. And I'll weld it on down there. And it's a lot better. Again, when we do the next chassis, we talked about earlier in the video where we're gonna bring this dash bar out here and do the door bars all the same and let that one stop as well. I'm gonna bring that bar out here and let it tie in up here. So we'll actually have 3 bars all the way from the driver, all the way in their feet, everything. So it'll be protected pretty good right here. Right now, Pops is cutting some 22-inch pieces that go from here, right behind the firewall, to the center of our dash bar. As you can see the mark. And that's our angle bracing in here that we talked about, we left out. We're gonna go ahead and throw those in. Once we get those in, I'm gonna work on my A-pillar brace here. So we'll get those in, and then we got some more bracing we wanna do in the, of course I've got to do some back here in the head support. I've got my 2 bars that go in here. And then I've got another one I'm going to do right here to the halo. And then we'll get on the front hoop. Y'all hang out. All right, so there's the A-pillar post support, you could call it. It's a little bit further back over here than it is over there. Y'all see me standing here measuring. I tacked it in, measured, then I decided to take it out. I like for my window openings to be big. A lot of guys that like our chassis are bigger guys. And that's because they're tall cage, big window opening cars. So I feel like that's what we need to keep a standard at. That way it fits these guys. So by the time you put decking on here and then a roof lip up here, you'll have about an 18-inch tall window opening, which is what the rules say. And then, of course, front to back, this one is 23 at the bottom. And then since this bar bends out right here, it's about 24 at the top. So pretty big window opening. That's exactly what mine is on my personal car. It's 24 long, and then it's 18 tall with the decking and everything on there. So, and I got a pretty tall side of roof lip, to be honest with you. It could be a lot shorter. I think it's about 4.5 inches. So I could raise my roof lip up a little bit closer to my cage and have an even bigger window opening, but it's fine. I can get in and out of it just fine. So, all right. So now Pops and I are going to work on getting these in, and then we're going to work on doing the diagonal. I know this video may be getting a little long and there's a lot of time lapse. So y'all just hang out. We're going to throw those in real quick. I'm not going to video it. And then we're going to do some bracing. Yep. And then we're going to do a little bit more bracing, and then we'll pick back up and end this video off. I got some more people to thank, so y'all just hang out with us. We're going to throw some bars in real quick. All right, y'all. So we got our front end capped. Got it plated. We got our 2x2 tubing all leveled up. And we got our 120 wall tubing in here. And we got the cross member capped up there. It's just tacked on. I have to weld all that. Of course, there's a lot of welding that has to be done. We put in another brace right here. We thought it needed it in between those bars. And again, I will probably do one down there to the frame. However, we got these in. Went ahead and put the windshield bars in, steering mount on. And we put the diagonal in the halo. So all that's got to be welded. This is in. Of course, we got these. Pops cut these for me. Got the plate welded on. And then I went ahead and threw the battery box in it. And Pops and I were discussing everything we've got left. So we don't have much. This one is finally starting to wind down. And we'll get it knocked out so Carson can get it picked up Saturday. This coming Saturday. And that'll give us time to really look it over and make sure everything's welded good. Tabs, body tabs, all our mounts. Of course, we have to do a bar up here, across, and then we'll do a seat belt bar right behind the rear dash bar. All that'll bolt in. The tabs will weld on, then the bar will bolt in. And we've got to do door bar stuff. We're going to finish our front hoop Wednesday. And then we'll probably going to do a rear bumper. And we may do our own front bumper. I haven't decided on that yet. Well, let's see what tubing we got. We were discussing things over here that we've got parts coming in. Thank you to Mike Fisher for ordering all the fuel pump, fuel pressure gauge, all that stuff. There's been a lot of people reaching out to me. So I just want to thank every one of y'all. There's been a lot of people too that have reached out to me and said that they've been watching our videos since the beginning. Look, it takes everyone watching, the views. That's what supports us the most, is the views and stuff on YouTube. We don't make a lot on YouTube, but it does help. So shout out to all of you that have been following us for a long time. Everything helps. Everything helps. And Dustin, really, that's who I want to talk about for a second. Dustin come by yesterday, and he brought us a stack of lead. We got about 500 pounds of lead right there, a little over 500 pounds. And we will be paying him for that lead.
Yeah.
So I don't want anybody to think that he just gave it to us and get mad about it. But he gave us the weight clamps, whole box of weight clamps. And then headers. He had the same headers on his car, obviously, on his Hound Dog chassis. So we're going to purchase these from him and the lead. And then that way, we think right now we have everything coming to get to the racetrack. There's been a couple of people reach out to me, and they've given like $35 here or $40 there to go towards sheet metal and body bracing and stuff. So that what they've given me will help me buy a sheet of yellow sheet metal to finish the hood and the front fenders on this thing. And then, of course, we still need the body bracing. That's on the Amazon wish list. There's things on the Amazon wish list that people may look at and be like, well, he don't need that. But since everybody bought up the stuff we needed right now to get to the racetrack, I went ahead and put stuff on there that's maintenance stuff. White lithium grease, oil filters, oil, stuff like that that we're gonna need when we start hitting the racetrack. So one more thing, Dustin did sponsor us a 4-inch offset beadlock, and it still has a good H500 tire on it. So we plan to use that. Shout out to John Keith again and Ben Keith at Statement for the shocks. And man, there's a lot of people. Jesse Merriman, my buddy I was talking about at 11J Motorsports, he texted me a little while ago. He's going to get with me tomorrow. I think he's going to grab us a battery. I had thrown a red top battery in the Amazon wish list, and I got to talking to Jesse about it, and he recommended the yellow top. So he said he would get with me tomorrow, and we'll see what happens there. And so there's a few things that we need. I did put my helmet that I have is outdated. It's a SA 2015, I believe. It may be a 2010. I think they do it every 5 years. So I did put a helmet on the Amazon wish list and a new pair of driving gloves. I already have a fire suit. I have to get racing shoes. I put that on there because there were some family members that asked how they could help. And so that's why that stuff is on there. Anyone's welcome to help. I'm just saying, I don't want people to look at it and be like, well, he's trying to get everything. But that's not what I'm doing at all. So we had to go dig through our fittings. We've got fuel line, fuel fittings, all laying here. So when the fuel pump comes in, Pops was making sure he had everything where he can go ahead and start plumbing if it comes in, and he starts working on it before I get here. Of course, there's a couple of days like tomorrow and Tuesday I'll be not here.
And they have something to do during the day, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And hey, since it's supposed to warm up a little bit.
Yeah, it's supposed to get a little bit warmer, so we're turning around so I can talk to you. Again, y'all, thank you to everyone that has bought off the wish list. There's been tons of people message me and asking for the link to the wish list. I know there's stuff that we need, and I'm not thinking about it. So every time I think of something, I always add it to the wish list. Of course, you know, I don't expect people to go buy me a $250 or $270 helmet and driving gloves, because that's on me. You know, that's stuff that I need to get and keep up with. I didn't realize my helmet was that old, but then I think about it, and it was 2018 was the last time I was in a race car. So that was 7 years ago. So when you dig stuff out, look at the date on it, you realize that you have to replace stuff, or update it rather, to be safe. And so there's a few things we got to get. We're pretty good on tires. We've got a ton of used tires that are good, and so that, I mean, to practice on and stuff like that. Once we get a few practices under our belt and we feel like we're confident enough to go put it in a crowd and race again, then we'll probably purchase some tires. So if anybody wants to be a tire sponsor, we are allowed to run the Hoosier H500s, and we're allowed to run an American Racer AR500, I believe. I have to look at the rules. Everybody keeps changing the rules. It was the AR500, then it was the American Racer Stalker and all this stuff. But anyway, we'll have to look, make sure. A few more details we got to work out. Buttoning up the engine bay. And once we get the shocks on it, then we're going to get everything done underneath. I put a yoke on the wish list yesterday because we have a brand new Speedway drive shaft, and we wanted to put a new yoke on it with new U-joints. And the one that we pulled out of here, y'all remember me talking about, it was a truck drive shaft that we had cut down. We're going to throw it to the side and use it as a spare just in case something happens and we need one at the racetrack. So someone bought the yoke yesterday, about an hour after I put it on the wish list. So whoever you are, thank you. When y'all buy this stuff on the wish list, please leave a note that comes with the package or something that lets us know who bought it. or comment on the video. Let us know that you purchased something. And if you don't want anybody to know, shoot me a message on Facebook or something. Let me know, because I want to be able to thank all you people that have helped. So that's where we're at. We'll have the chassis finished up this week, and in the next few days actually, and then we plan to we got a frame on the way. I got in touch with the frame guy. He's going to be getting us another frame out, so we'll have another frame coming for number 13. And
I'm working on this.
yeah, Pop said he's working on this. We want to get to the racetrack bad, y'all. It's been a long time coming, and we're ready. So hope y'all hang out with us. Continue watching our videos, and thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everyone that's helping us, especially all you people that are buying stuff and sending it to us, or just sending what you have. One thing I want to mention someone else, Steve Hurley. Steve's super good dude. Added me as a friend on Facebook a while back. He watches our videos. He sent us a brand new vacuum gauge. So yeah. I think he said he used it once or twice, and man, this thing looks good. So we're going to use it to check the vacuum on our motor. Thank you, Steve, for that. Again, y'all, if I forget somebody, I'm sorry. I have all of it written down. I try to keep up with everything, and that way when we go to put stuff on the car, I can put all the vinyl with everyone's name and what they sponsored, and that way we don't forget anybody. So again, thank y'all very much. It is Sunday evening now, about 3:30 probably, and we've been getting it pretty good. So we got a lot done today. I'm happy with the progress, and it's time for me to go home and spend time with my daughter and my wife. So for those that have been asking, the baby's doing good. She is a little over 3 months old now, and growing like a weed, man. She's growing like a weed, so she's healthy. Holly's doing great, and the contractor gave us the keys Thursday to the new house, so they still got a couple of things they have to do. Some mirrors were broken shipping, so that's stuff out of our control. And once they get the new mirrors, then they can hang those and a couple of odd and end stuff, and they'll be done, and we'll be able to start cleaning and moving stuff in. So thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank you for all the sponsorship. Thank y'all. Thank you very much. And until next time.
Appreciate it, guys, gals. Thank y'all for everything that y'all have done. And until next time, God bless you.
See y'all.